So I saw Utu Khan is strategically positioned in that space. And by Asabedisana, the four of them from the IDEC. That's how I got to then start searching these whole things. Unfortunately, because of that 10 minutes that I have in the ad hoc, I couldn't get to where we should go. And the fact that Khan then says, allegedly, in around our circular Ebandwin, we won't see him in the ad hoc. He won't come in the ad hoc because he's got us in his pockets. Now, this is a township talk. That is what crossed my mind. No, not my name. So it happened in that space. I was worried. Okay, this General Khan, who happens to be in a strategical position and is so wealthy, Funane SAPS. If it's for the love of SAPS, why in the intelligence? Is he that good? So it's some of those things, yes.
So
Advocate Azim, good morning, Ms. Chong.
Babkuman.
You, in passing, mentioned that you have a history in the SAPS.
Yes.
I hope I heard you correctly. Can you
Yes.
just give us that history and that background?
Okay.
Were you ever a policeman?
I was employed as SAPS in the college space. At one stage, there was a need for SAPS members to have driver's licenses by the parliament and all that. Then we were incubated to come there. Then later trained by SAPS to be instructors in the space of advanced driving and tactical driving. I was also trained there in the assessor and moderator, which I didn't finish because of time. But I then did my 2 diplomas of examiner of vehicle and examiner of driver's license, which the state has its own DLTC. So I was then
can you
deployed
just give a time period? When was this?
2000 and from 2006 coming up. I left SAPS 2015.
Thank you.
So in the later years, there was a case where there were people who were employed by SAPS. Now that is us who were instructors. Then there was an allegation that we cannot train SAPS members under the Police Act while we are not employed under the Police Act. So there was that case where we were then offered later ranks. But at that time, I decided to leave full-timing on politics and business, media space and politics.
So you were in the SAPS for about 10 years, 2006 until 2015,
more or so, yes,
2016.
more so. And I've worked in most of these colleges, Bishop Levis, Benoni, and Pretoria West of Bay.
And just out of interest, when you left, what was your rank? Or was it before they gave you ranks?
The court had already pronounced on that we must get ranks from sergeant, warrants, going upwards. But that was the time I was exiting. So I never took rank. Yes.
I just want to get back to your statement. You explained with reference to incidents and rumors and allegations why you became interested in investigating Major General Khan.
Yes.
In your statement, you give further reasons, and you say there are 4 incidents that you've cited here, in addition to what you've now expanded on in your evidence today. So if we could return to your statement, and it's at the bottom of page 7.
Yes.
And if you could just read out those last 4 allegations that you say were also part of what prompted your investigation.
The first one was the Aratin drug saga, where General Mkhwanazi clears General Khan and deems him a hero, which I still disagree with Babu Mkhwanazi. And then the second one, the alleged cover-ups relating to the murder of the makeup artist, which is on social. The second one is, the third one is the alleged cover-up relating to the murder of medical doctor, which is also in the social and around the corridors. And then the fourth one is the alleged cover-up of matters pertaining to cigarette smuggling cases.
Okay. Now, just pause there for a moment. If you go to page 44 of your bundle.
44. Is this on my statement?
No.
Okay.
This is,
I got it.
it's page 44. It's an extract from
Yes.
the ad hoc committee meeting of the 5th of March, 2026. Okay, it starts at page 44, but the relevant part is on page 45. And this is during the evidence of and the questioning of Mr. Paul O'Sullivan. And you'll see halfway down the page is a question that you pose to him.
Yes.
It starts, if your life is in danger. Okay. Perhaps you should just read out that paragraph because it corresponds with your 4 allegations.
Is this on page 45?
Page 45. This is,
Okay.
do you see it?
I see it.
It's just that one paragraph.
Yes. I said the reading from here. My life is in danger. How would you go to a house of a person you do not know? Tell me this. Is it fine? Let us leave it, okay? This is Tabanala. Okay. Remember this one? And I said,
Ready for your next ride? With our massive variety, you're bound to find the one. Simply head to a We Buy Cars near you.
keep that in mind. 1. 2, drugs worth 300 million get stolen and lost. A case alleges that a person who is a police officer is involved in that case and the case gets withdrawn. That is number 2. A father loses his son in hospital when a doctor was operating on that son. It is alleged that father goes and says to his friends he has shot the doctor because he lost his son through the hands of the doctor. And number 3, it is also alleged that cigarette smugglers and cigarette sellers and all that gets covers up by the same police officer. Now, the most amazing thing is this. This police officer owns multiple franchises of businesses, lucrative businesses. This person remains in the leadership, but you as a lover of South Africa never investigate that person, Farouz Khan. We cannot even get the name in here in Parliament to get that person to come here and answer. Apparently, he is being covered up and protected. Even by us, now they say we are protecting him. We cannot get him here. Why did you not investigate Farouz Khan? But you went for Pahlane, whom you do not have a single evidence of what he has done. Your statements sitting there in front of you does not have an ounce of evidence about Mr. Pahlane. Should I stop there?
Yes, you can stop there. So these are the questions that you were posing to Mr. O'Sullivan. It relates to the Ayrton drug saga. It relates to this alleged cover-up of a murder of a makeup artist, alleged cover-up of the murder of a medical doctor, and cover-up of matters relating to cigarette smuggling. Just for context, because you don't say anything more in your statement about these specific incidents, but you say that the concerns arose because of what you were reading in the media. That's where you picked these things up. So I just want to confirm that it's the same, it's these media articles that you were referring to. So if you look at page 51 of your bundle,
Yes, I'm there.
you'll see there's a news report which is headed Makeup Artist and Influencer, 39 found dead in her bedroom under mysterious circumstances. And there's a picture of the person. You see that?
Yes.
Is this the story that you are referring to?
This is one of the stories.
It's one of the stories?
Yes.
Okay. And then there's a second news report in the bundle, and that you'll find at page 47.
47. Yes, ma'am.
And the headline of this article is, "I had nothing to do with hit on doctor." Right? And there's a picture of the doctor on the front page who was assassinated. And then the article, as you see, refers to the allegations that it was a certain Mohammed Sayed who had ordered the hit. Is this the other story that you're referring to?
It is the story. It is the story.
And on the cigarette smuggling matters that you're referring to, is there anything that you wish to say about that to expand? Because you don't really say more about that. What are you referring to when you're talking about cigarette smuggling cases?
On the cigarette smuggling, it's the relationship between, then it was alleged, General Khan, pertaining from the EFF event where General Khan attended, if you may remember that, and the guy called Syed. So that story is all over most of the time when we speak in the corridors. But
So this Mohammed Sayed in this article is the Mohammed Sayed who's the director of Carney Links.
yes, that's Syed.
Okay.
What got my attention to that story is that the relationship, politically and business-wise, there's a lot of allegations. If you may read most of the stories that you'll get on social media about Said, you'll never pass there without getting a name of Khan in the comments. If you go through any, you'll find it somewhere there. So that's the one I'm referring to. The fact that at that time, when I mentioned it here, I didn't have much knowledge of it exactly in very intensively. But I later learned a lot of things, including the invitation that no. That means the cigarette issue is true. Because how would I be invited by the cigarette, people in the cigarette business to tell me to protect Khan in a way if this story is not true? So there's an interest there.
Okay, so that's going to bring us to the 8th of March.
Yes.
Okay, so let's just pause on that because you're going to come to that in a statement, and then you can expand on the people with whom you met. Let's go to page 8 of your statement.
I'm there.
Could you read from the top of this page?
Further to the above, I was also prompted by the fact that certain members of the ad hoc committee did not see the necessity of summoning General Khan for questioning during the process of compiling the list of individuals to be invited before the committee. Two names in particular were at issue, namely President Cyril Ramaphosa in relation to Phala matter and General Khan. Should I continue?
Yes.
In the case of President Ramaphosa, I understood from the political standpoint that he would be likely be shielded by the process by his party, ANC. However, with respect to General Khan, I could not understand their reluctance to call him before the committee, particularly given the weight and seriousness of allegations that have been formulated and tabled against him.
Yes, so you've given us quite a detailed explanation of those
Yes.
paragraphs, so you can move on to the next.
I was further prompted by the allegation that General Khan is a multimillionaire and a businessman of considerable means, yet he seeks to remain in employment within the SAPS, specifically within the intelligence division. This raises serious questions as the motivation behind his continued presence in such a sensitive and strategically significant position within the services.
Okay, you can pause there. So before you go on to 2.2, the question that was asked of you was, what were the findings of this investigative work, all of these incidents that you've referred to this morning, which came to you through social media, through people reporting things to you,
Yes.
and to the evidence that was coming out of the ad hoc committee. So the question is, what were the findings? What were your findings of your own investigative work? So you can read 2.2 in response to that question.
In undertaking this investigation, my primary objective was to establish the truth regarding the allegation leveled against General Khan. However, due to the failure to appear before the committee, I was regrettably unable to arrive to the determination of the facts and the truth in this matter, therefore remains unestablished.
Okay. You say in this paragraph, due to his failure to appear before the committee, but it wasn't that he failed to appear, it was that he was not called. I just want to get the context right.
Oh yeah. Yabona ke isilungu, we. Okay. Siyahlupha.
Okay. So he didn't appear, but it's because he was not called.
If I may elaborate on that, we somehow have not exactly a voting system in the ad hoc, but somehow a weight balance agreement of who do we want there. Now, on that day, if you can add MKP numbers with DA and ANC, we would outnumber other parties and get General Khan in that seat. The only thing is that on that day, Honorable Malema was the most vocal in not getting General Khan to come there. But I can tell you, Uti, the other parties sided with him, with the EFF, not with him as I say, with EFF, in not allowing us to get Khan to come there.
Okay.
Yes.
So the upshot of all of that was that he was not called.
Yes.
All right, thanks. Now we get to the crux of your statement in 2.3. And I just want to take you to we'll come there. You raised these questions on the 5th of March. Paula Sullivan, we went there in the record, right?
You mean in the ad hoc?
In the ad hoc committee, yes.
Okay. I don't recall the dates.
These
but-
questions about General Khan and these allegations. But you had also previously raised questions when...
Sarah Jane Trent was crying the whole day.
Okay, so now comes 8th of March. The question was to you to explain the events of 8th of March regarding the request for a meeting with you, which led to a telephone call between you and Major General Khan.
Okay.
Now, I know that there's some complexity to that question. It wasn't a direct call between you and
Me and-
Major General
yes.
Khan. So can you start with 2.3.1 on page 8 to explain those events?
Okay. I had received a call from the PA of the president, former president, who then told me, Wuti,
And her name is?
sorry, I don't know whether I should mention, can I not mention the name? Just
Well,
for-
she has provided a statement.
Oh, she has?
Yes.
Okay, her name is Londiwe Xulu.
And
Londiwe who?
Xulu.
Thank you.
Yes.
Is that XULU?
Yep,
And if you turn to page 15 of your bundle,
15,
15,
yes.
you'll see at that page, from page 15 to page 22, sorry, not 22, 24,
I see the statement.
there's a statement. And you read the statement of Mthulu, right?
Yes, I just read it, yes.
Okay. All right, you can go back to your statement.
Okay. I received a call from OPA Gababa to say there were people that came to see the former president. Sorry? Okay, good. Thank you, Commissioner. I received a call from OCC and telling me, Wuti, there were people who came to see the president and they were interested in seeing me. Now, if I may just explain on that one, this thing happens kakulu. We've gained I don't know how to call it in English, but ngesizulu ngizothi uthando from abantu in the ad hoc, where people view us as people who didn't shy away from the truth, as dangerous as it sounded. So because mostly they can't get directly to us and they have access, some have access to Ubaba, some don't, specifically business people. A lot of business people have came to Ubaba and said, hey, siyabathanda labafana. They are doing very well and we would like to help last one. So we've been assisted by certain business after they seen our stance in the ad hoc, which, okay, you guys need a push because you're working in a direction where you're not shy away from this. So I've been called by Sis London many times, and some go to Baba and says, and then they just call me in. So this is one of those incidents where I was told that I must come and ngiyafuneka. I was in Cape Town, if I may remember very well. I had left Durban days before, and I'd left my car at the airport. So I flew to Cape Town. I was in Cape Town for, I think, two days or so. Then I was called to come back. So then I flew to Durban for this one.
Okay, and to be clear, that the request for you to go to Durban was the call you received from the former President Zuma's PA?
Yes.
Requesting you to come to
Yes.
Durban?
Yes.
Okay. But who made the request for the meeting that took place on the 8th of March? Because the meeting was not going to be with President Zuma,
No.
right?
I will explain later that part of President Zuma in the meeting, because I later find out that he was not even aware himself why I'm going there. But the call was made by Sis Londiwe to me,
Right.
saying that there's two gentlemen that came and they had requested to see me. They also requested Gubaba to see me. She's the one who told me to come, and then I went.
Okay.
Yes.
And then in 2.3.2, you explain who the two gentlemen are.
Yes.
And who are they?
It was Yusuf Gachi and Imran. I don't know in Imran's surname.
If we go to the PA's statement, I said it starts at page 15, but she includes an attachment and she corroborates what you say about the meeting.
Yes. This is
Just
page
to try
15.
to establish the surname of the gentleman you refer to. She doesn't refer to the surname in her statement, but if you look at page 35, it's in her annexes. She annexed WhatsApp conversations between her and the two individuals.
You
Okay.
mean on her WhatsApps? 'Cause I see-
Her own WhatsApp
Yes, okay, I
communications.
see
It
that.
starts at page 33.
Yes. Yes.
So you'll see there it's a conversation between her and Mr. Yusuf Kaji. And in fact, that begins on the 6th of March.
Okay. Yeah, I see
Right.
the WhatsApps here.
Yes, so it starts on the 6th of March, not on the 8th of March, when you were called. So he approaches her on the 6th of March. And if you look at the bottom of that page, on page 33, he says, "Hello, darling. Thank you for your immense help. Which day am I meeting our brother in Johannesburg?" Do we understand that to be you?
Because of the video on this screenshot, I would presume they're talking about me, because I see the hello darling, then my I've seen a couple of videos of me, but this one, if I may recall, I think I was questioning Mr. Paul O'Sullivan, but on her phone, I didn't know she had this video.
Okay. And then if you look at page 35,
Okay, I'm there.
it's the copy of an extract of the WhatsApp conversation between her and a gentleman named, well, she has him saved as follows, Imran C.K. Baba. Do you know whether, does that ring a bell? Is that his surname or do you know?
No, I don't know. It's first time here seeing this Imran Baba, but I think, if I may just think at the top of my head, I would say maybe it's a reference, Imran for Baba or Imran Baba. I don't know whether it's a surname. It might be a surname because in Indian people it's also a surname. So I'm
Yes.
not sure. But I've never, when the guy introduced himself to me, he never said his name. It's
never-
only Kachi that said his name to me.
Okay.
Yes.
Just before we leave this page, you'll see it's dated 8 March 2026. Okay?
Okay.
And
Which is the day?
at 10:32 in the morning, she says, "Morning, Imran, he will be landing at 11:40 a.m." Is that the time at which you were due to land?
I think that's the time I had given her that I'll be landing, but I didn't land at that time. I landed far later than that.
Okay, we'll
Yes.
come back to that. Were you delayed?
I was delayed.
Okay. And then the next message says, "Please share address so we can come straight to you when he gets to town." Do you see that?
On page, which
It's
page?
still on page 35.
35. Yes, I see. I see.
And then he shares an address.
Yes.
And the address is an address of a place called DRK Tactical, 207 Montpelier Road. Is that where you had your meeting?
This is where I had the meeting, and I confirmed this because I had checked my, unfortunately, when I got there, my phone was off, but my tablet was on. So when you check your timeline, it tells you exactly where you were. It gives me exactly this address. And when I check the pictures that comes on the Google, it's exactly the house I was at.
Okay. Let's get back to your statement. So you say that it was a request that came from these two gentlemen, Yusuf Kaji and a person named Imran. That's 2.3.2.
Yes.
And then in 2.3.3, you're answering the following question. Was the request made directly to you? If not, who was it made to? If you could just read in your answer.
2.3.3.
Yes.
I answered the no. I subsequently learned that the meeting had been requested with the president, in the course of which my presence was specifically requested. That is the knowledge I had when our sister Londiwe called me and said, "Baba requests to see you because there's people who wanted to see you."
So you earlier were talking about the people who, are now fond of the MK
Yes, of
party,
us,
the work
yes.
that's happening in Parliament and the ad hoc committee. And so you're saying that this meeting was, in your view, to meet with people who want to support.
Mostly.
The
Yes, it happens.
organization.
Yes.
Okay. And then in 2.4, sorry,
2.3.4.
the numbering on the notice is incorrect.
Yeah,
So
I noticed that's when you
2.3.4.
sent me the question, I had to rearrange the numbers.
Yes.
I see there's somebody who has a Zuma syndrome here with numbers. So I had to redo the numbers.
Be careful, Mr. Shongwe. That document is signed by me.
So you've fixed it, fortunately. You don't suffer from the same syndrome. So
May
it
you
was
clap hands for me for that, such a wonderful job, please. Thank you.
2.3.3, the question was, 2.3.4, how was it relayed to you, right? How was the request relayed to you? So you can now turn to your answer at 2.3.4.
2.3.4. What was the question again?
Page 8 of your statement.
Yes, but the question?
It was, how was the request for the meeting relayed to you?
Okay. I think I replied that on 2.3.3. Because when I see 2.4, I'm answering something different there. Because I'm answering upon my arrival in Durban. I was somewhat delayed and
Yeah, I think that
Yeah.
it merges the two
yeah,
questions
so
before.
2.3,
So if you could just read
answered it.
2.3.4.
I must read 2.3.4.
Yes.
Okay. Upon my arrival in Durban, I was somewhat delayed and the president had already attended to other commitments. I then had a conversation with Ms. Londiwe, who informed me that two individuals were present requesting to see the president and had specifically asked to, I'm telling the page, meet with me. I asked her whether she knew who these individuals were and and the reason for their request. She indicated that she was aware of their identities, but not the purpose of their visit. Through Ms. Londiwe, we then contacted these individuals to advise them that I had arrived in Durban and I was on my way to meet them.
Okay. So she relayed this to you,
Yes. Yes.
and you say that she was aware of their identity. So these are individuals that she'd met with before.
According to my assumption at that time, she knows them. Yes.
Okay. But she didn't know why
The
they wanted to
meeting.
meet with you in particular.
Yeah. In most cases, what happens, she only arranges meeting and she's never part of the meeting. She will like walk you in, close the door, you have a meeting, and then some people would then either if they don't get to Baba, they would then tell her, "We need to see Ushong. We are here to ask Baba to give us permission to see Ushong." Remember, with President Zuma, it's a freeway. Everybody is welcome. So people usually will go there so that even if I want to say no, I can't say no because they've already asked the president. Now it comes as an instruction with a Ambobona Labantu.
Okay.
Yeah.
But to be clear, you had never met these people before.
No, never.
Yourself.
Never.
All right. So 2.3.5, the question is where the meeting took place, if you could
Yes.
continue.
The meeting took place at 207 Multipliers Road, Morningside, Durban, 4001 at the DRK Tactical Premises, which is their offices.
This is their offices.
Yes, they said
And
so.
at what time was this meeting?
I'll check on my time, but it was like 13 something on my, it says on my timeline when I arrived there. If you can check on page 42 on the bundle. Where is it? 40,
You're talking about the vehicle trackers,
yes, it gives exact time.
page 43.
Yes,
42. It
Page
says
43.
13, DRK Tactical.
it's 43, Commissioner.
Page 43, yes.
Yes, it's 13:13, and I was there until 13:53. That's when I
Okay.
arrived there.
Shongwe, is it, what is DRK? Is it a security company?
It's a security company, yes.
Thank you.
But I think there's a whole lot more what they do there because it's when you get there, you see more of security related stuff like the cars that were out there were security cars written in security markings. But the office doesn't have anything that says security. It says tactical only.
Thank you.
So just to be clear, you arrived at 13:13 in the afternoon and you left at 13:53.
Yes,
Okay, so you were there for about 40 minutes in total.
if I may say so.
So who attended the meeting with you?
Ngahamba no mama uLondiwe.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then who did you meet with? And that's at 2.3.7.
Ngadibana no, okay. At 3.7, can I read it as it is there? Or you want me to
You
explain
can
it to you?
read the paragraph
Oh, I
and then
can-
you can expand on it.
Okay, let me start maybe by expanding. When we got there, at the gate, there was one security guy who was inside, wearing a bit darker clothes, bluish kind of. And that's the guy that opened for us. And then I drove in, and I didn't drive in the straight on. I just reversed in the yard.
Can I
that-
just pause for a moment? You said there was a security
Yes,
official
in the yard.
who
Opened the gate.
granted you access?
Yes.
And was he the only security officer there, or were there others?
At that time, it was only him.
Only him.
in the
okay.
front.
All
when we
right,
entered. So
continue.
I drove in reverse. And then while I was parking my car, a gentleman with glasses, tiny in body, short, flat beard, came wearing glasses, came smiling and introduced himself to me, greeting and introduced himself as Imran as I exited my car. He said his name is Imran. Then I also told him my name. So then it was like, oh, I know you, my brother, stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. And then if you can just say, if you take it from we were escorted.
Okay. We're then taken into the boardroom, which was furnished with 4 chairs on
No,
each side.
let's just go up a little bit, sorry.
Okay.
It's the third line. It starts, we were escorted onto the premises. Take it from there.
At that line, he introduced himself. Okay, we were escorted into the premises, and as we entered, we passed at the reception desk bearing the signage that read DRK. Now, I didn't write here in my statement that those alphabets, they were very big, but they were 3D type of signage with lights. There was white, red, and white. So those alphabets, I think R was in red. Then the 2 other alphabets were white. As we entered, it was like a desk like this one. Then it's somewhere here. Then we were escorted into the left of that receptionist, where the next room is their boardroom. And then we got there. The Imran offers us seats. Now we were sitting in a table. If I'm not wrong, the table might be from this corner, maybe to the end there of this. It's very long, but the width of it is not that much. It's maybe like a 1.5 or so.
So it was a narrow,
Yes,
but
this
very
side.
long boardroom
Yeah,
table.
narrow and long at this side. So
Okay.
Imran sits on my left on the far end. Londi was sits just slightly opposite me here. And then while we were sitting there, Imran advises us that we are waiting for one gentleman who's going to come. And then we're waiting for that person. So, may I continue?
Yes, please.
Okay.
So I think where you can just read in, because you've explained 237, but if you could just read the last sentence.
237. Imran advised us that we could wait for another individual who was expected to arrive. This person was subsequently introduced. This person is subsequently introduced himself to me as Yusuf Kaji. That is when this gentleman, also bearded, wearing this Indian clothing, this long dress, same color as this table I'm sitting in, lighter, walked in and then immediately came to shake my hand and introduce himself as Yusuf Kaji. Then I recall I laughed at him with Kaji. Is this a Zulu surname? Because if it's a K, it's a Zulu. Then if it's C, it's English. And then we laughed about that matter. But he said, no, I'm Kaji.
Okay. And then 238, the question is, what was the purpose of this meeting according to the people who requested it? So if you could just take us to 238.
Okay.
What was the explanation to you for why they requested this meeting with you?
Okay. Prior to the meeting, my speculation was that the meeting had been requested because they wished to assist the organization in some way. However, in the course of our conversation,
by organization, you mean MK
MK,
Party?
yes. And I say that organization, if I may explain, Commissioner, because I only get relations or requests of invites through or for the reason of MK. I hardly get invites just for Shong. I think Shong is not a person, so they want law. Yeah. So if I may put like that. So for that purpose, it was for the MK in my thinking, my assumption. I will continue. Where was I? Okay. However, in the course of our conversation, Yusuf stated that someone wished to speak to me without explaining further, and he instead insisted on calling this person to speak to me telephonically. I asked, who is this person? was then, they then disclosed the name of this individual as General Khan. I refused and I informed them that I did not wish to take the call. During this interaction, Yusuf moved his chair closer to mine and proceeded to call this person. As the phone was already ringing, the call was answered and it was General Khan. Now, if I may explain this, because here in writing, my mind was already in the artwork. I'm a 10-minute person. So how it happens is this: when he sits down, as we are talking this, just silly talk, nothing serious. Before he starts talking to me, Imran moves closer to Sislondiwe, and it's a chair with wheels. He sits next to Sislondiwe here, very close. It's when also Kaji moves directly to me and saying, "Hey, my brother, man, there's a brother of us wants to talk to you, man. You know, yeah, boy, he wants to talk to you." He speaks a lot of, if I can bring him here, before you get to know what he wants to say, there will be sentences and sentences. So you can't remember everything. He speaks fast as well. So he says that, "Hey, our brother wants to speak to you." And I ask, who's that and why? He says, no, man, you know the guy, General, it's Khan. He says Khan. So that's why, in respect, I say General Khan here, but he says it's Khan, our brother. No, man, you know you're our brother, man. Talk to our brother. And at that time, he's talking, already dialing. And the person on the other end of the phone picks up the phone. It's a video call.
But did you agree to
No,
have the conversation? What was your
I did tell him
response
that
to?
I don't want, this is, okay, as I say, he talks too much. While he was calling, I'm telling him, no, don't call. We can either make other ways and talk if there is a way, but I don't want a phone call. And I tell him that I don't like phone calls. He then explains to me, "Don't worry, brother. We will help you with the phones. If you are scared of phone calls and anything, don't worry. We will help with your phone. Your phone will be tracking someone when you're making a phone call." All this nonsense he speaks while acting on this thing. "We'll work you on your phone. Don't worry about this. You must give us your phone." Then the phone is already ringing at that time. So at that time, he takes the phone and turns it toward.
While things happen on our roads, capture every second with CarTrack dashcams. Protect yourself today. Get CarTrack.
Exactly as he looks now.
So it was a video call.
It was a video call.
Okay.
And the angle of the video call is from the right-hand side of his face. Not directly in the front, but on the side of this side. Then the guy on the phone greets me, "Hey, brother, how are you?" Speaking calmly. "Brother, how are you?" And then I replied, "Hey, I'm okay, how are you?" He says, "No, brother, man, what are you doing?"
Just do this for our transcription.
Yes.
The person who's greeting you, that's General Khan.
That's
now.
General Khan.
Okay.
Yes. Sorry. I'm feeling a Julius Mkwanazi syndrome here. I don't know. And I've also done the yes thing now.
It comes, it comes with that seat.
Yeah, it's a yes.
So
yes.
you greeted.
I greet him and he greets back. He greets me and I greet back, but immediately starts talking. But this one,
Even while,
no.
even while
And
General
I
Khan
never
is speaking,
stopped.
he was.
Some of the things he said, I don't even recall, but he never stopped. So he has the phone in his hand and then Khan speaks. At the time when Khan speaks, he starts saying, "Brother, what are you doing? Why are you doing this to me?" The conversation was in that line. "Why are you doing this to me? And what did I do to you?" And I replied, "No, I'm not. You did nothing to me. In fact,"
But what was he referring to when he says, "Why?" are
I
you
knew
doing
what
this
he
to
was
me?"
referring to. That's why I didn't bother to ask. I knew already what he was referring to. Because now this is happening very fast. And I can't really focus on my daughter with, okay, what is really happening here? And how should I tackle this? But I decided, let me push in and then just finish this thing and move away from it. So I said, no, I'm doing nothing to you. I was referencing you, your name in this thing. I'm not looking for you. You even know that we won't call you on the ad hoc. You are voted out that you won't come. So it was just a matter of me referencing. "No, brother, you are killing me." He touches his neck. "You are suffocating me." And his eyes are now turning red. If I may say, he was crying. But I just decided to, let me look at this and understand what is really happening here. He was wearing a shirt, this color. He looks down and he looks at me in the phone, and then he never looks. He speaks very, very.
Sorry, is that what, light blue? What color is that?
I would say baby blue.
Oh, thank you.
I'm not good with colors, but ngiyaza.
Very light blue.
Ngiyazama impela.
You are very
Baby
good.
blue.
You are very good because I have no idea what baby blue is.
Mr. Shongwe, my grandmother used to say it's powder blue.
Oh, it's powder blue.
And because she was
Blue
my
seal is
grandmother, I
powder, but
assumed
it's
she was
blue,
right.
so we don't know what blue is that. So,
May I just ask? May I just ask this? You say you knew what he was talking about. Just for completeness, can you please tell us what it is that you knew?
okay, and prior to me meeting him, after all these couple of times where I asked questions about him on Sarah Jane Trent, Paul Sullivan, I had forgotten that I'd asked General Masemola as well. But prior those days when I kept on punching that question, Uguti, how did you, Paul Sullivan and Sarah Jane Trent, establish who to investigate? Because I was probing Uguti, when it comes to General Patlani, they already had proof of the sound system. And he answered to Paul Sullivan, he loves South Africa. That's why he's investigating. So that's why I asked him, as a lover of South Africa, how do you then generate who you want to target? Where you see the allegations of General Kanda, so many, but you focus on Patlani. That is the issue. So on those days, I was getting phone calls with everyone, and people that I know, people that I may not know sometimes, and pass on the street, they finally to Tintem this can you don't touch. He deals with abantu abaronga kakhulu. I got so many of those in a way that I started to take note to okay, now I've put my life in danger with this thing. But the day this happened was when I asked Babu Paul Sullivan. That is when I got a number of people when I walk in the streets. Some people even that I don't even know in the airport will say, hey, Vanagit, uzbhekela. But siyabonga into eniyenzile, nimkhonto and all those things. So I noticed okay, when he speaks with Nyamkhama, I knew exactly what sikhuluma ngani. The topic to me was clear, okay, sila kule nto manje. And what I must do is to understand how do I escape being here so that ngazifaki inkinga.
And at the top of page 10, where you say you told him that you were merely referencing his name, were you referring to what you said to Mr. O'Sullivan?
Yes, I
You
was
are
referring to
investigating Patlane, but why not Kang? That's what you meant by saying I was merely referencing your name.
Yes, I was referring to that because the situation was very fast. I won't lie about it. But one is forced to think fast out of the box in that situation. How do I calm the situation here? Because we came there without bodyguards, without any weapons or anything. So one has to make sure that I don't allow this to escalate. Because should it be I allow it to escalate or I become violent, it might turn on me. And at that time, if I may say, while we were sitting, the number of people in the yard, they are no longer one person. Because where Kaji is sitting, there's a window behind him. And I could see my car, I could see a couple of men around that space. So one has to think fast to go to, okay, let me just keep this situation calm, then we'll exit Sizwe and Eland and we'll see how we handle this matter. So that's why I say to him, no, I'm not targeting you. I was referencing your name. I know my targets. This one, this is where he also says, yeah, I know your target, you're targeting corners, Mr. Kaji, constantly talking. So this is where he also says, yeah, I know you're looking from corners, I can hear your questions. Then this one says, Norman, come, let's meet, let's have a talk, come, let's talk. We can look after you, let's talk about some things. He says it as well. But this one then takes over the conversation of the taking care of me. And then this one says, no, let's meet in Johannesburg. He asked this, sorry, in Sentin. He asked this one, where in
You are, sorry, you are using so many, this one.
Oh, sorry.
It was General Khan who said you must meet at his place in Sentin
In
the
Sandton.
following week.
the same week on Friday.
Sorry. Yeah. Please.
page 10. On page 10. Yeah.
The last two lines?
Maybe
Perhaps let's do
start
this.
earlier?
Please read the whole of 2.3.10.
2.3.10, where is it? Okay.
The
General
first-
can't answer
sorry,
the call.
Sorry, the first paragraph up to I responded that I would make time.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you. Thank you, Commissioner. 2.3.10, General Khan answered the call and Yusuf held the screen facing me in his hands and said to General Khan, "My brother, here is Shongwe." General Khan greeted me saying, "Brother, how are you?" I replied that I was okay and asked how he was. He then said, "What is wrong, bro? What did I do to you? You are suffocating me." While saying this, he placed his hands on his neck and his eyes appeared red. As if he had been crying, I replied that I was not doing anything to him, that I was merely referencing his name, and that he was not my focus then. And then he then said, "What do you want? We can look after you. Come meet me at my place in Sentin next week, Friday, if you are available. If you are available." I responded that I would make time. Yeah, sorry for that.
So it was General Khan who invited you to meet him
In Sentin.
at his place in Santon.
Yes,
And he invited you for the week after this meeting.
yes.
And you said you would do so, right?
I agreed that I will come.
Okay. Can you read the next paragraph?
I quickly want to check something. Yeah, it was there. While we're still conversing, Yusuf turned the phone to face himself and asked, "Where in Sentin?" General Khan responded, "In the apartment." Yusuf then ended the call and continued speaking to me, remaining close to me. He said, "Stop this. You are our brother and we can really take care of you. There is a security tender at Checkers worth 2.2 million every month, and we can give it to you." I replied that I do not operate in that manner. He insisted that he could arrange 10 bar in cash for me, and I said it was fine, that we can talk up on Friday.
Okay. So this second part of the conversation, an offer of a tender, what did he mean? Did he mean that, I mean, are you in the security business? So why would he offer you a security tender? How did you
Let me
understand
put it
it?
how I perceived it. Because prior, when we are talking, and he's talking too much on the issue of phone, there was an instance in this talking where he asked for my number, Yusuf Kaji. And I constantly said, no, I don't want you to have my number. So I noticed that me pushing back constantly doesn't get this guy to back off. So this is the type of a person, you agree to everything, then you live like that. This is what I started deciding to, okay, let me work on this, because now he says, you give me the tender of 2 million of security. And I said, no, I don't operate like that. So to him, maybe he thought I mean, no, in book form, this will get me arrested or whatever, in a way. To him, he thought I'm saying that. That's why he changes the subject to say, no, we can get you cash then. 10 bar, we can get you 10 bar, we can arrange it. In that, the thing is, I forgot to write it here. In that statement, this is where he even promised me there were 3 BMW cars that were window tinted and bulletproof. He then promised me, would we even give you this car?
Where were those, where were
in
those?
the yard, parked next to my bike.
In the yard, okay.
Yes, in the yard.
So
showed me
he pointed at them?
pointed at them. Even when we went out as well, he was walking me out on the window. He said, "Do you see, all these cars are safe." I was no longer interested in listening, but my focus was leaving. So I had agreed to say, okay, no, about the 10 bar, we'll talk on Friday. That is what I said, because I wanted to get them to say, okay, fine, let's meet wherever we're going to meet and talk. Then as soon as I started agreeing, I just noticed the change of tone and the character of the body. Now I think they feel calm with them. Then I decided, okay, this is where I'm going to take this thing. This is where they then, if I may recall, at the same time, I stood up. I wanted to leave. And then he said, no, sit down, man. I want to tell you something. There's a brother of mine upstairs who has information because we see your line of questions are more asking about Mkwanazi. We have something on General Mkwanazi. We can give it to you. And he spoke fast. He spoke about the helicopters and a lot of stuff that I was not interested in listening.
Sorry. I see that for 10 bar, you have a bracketed explanation, 10 million rand.
Yes, the language 10 by 10 million.
Thank you.
Can you read the next paragraph into the record? This is now where you're talking about what you just said about that he seemed to intimate to you that in fact the person you're really looking into is General Mkwanazi.
Yes.
Okay.
Imran then, this is when we were standing up. Imran then offered to bring us something to drink and returned with bottle of water. Yusuf then said, in the line of your questions, I see you don't want General Khan, you want Mkwanazi. I can give you information on Mkwanazi. My brother upstairs has information on him. I did not respond to this statement. Instead, I requested to leave. As we were walking out, Yusuf said we must wait a while as the brother was coming. We waited next to the signage, and a man of approximately my height or slightly taller and muscular build came down to the stairs. Yusuf took this individual and me back to the boardroom, leaving Londi and Imran by the reception. And if I may say, I think Londi also continued to live here, and asked him whether he still had information on Mkwanazi and the helicopter. To which he responded, yes. Yusuf then instructed him to locate the information and stated that he would give it to me on Friday when we meet in Sandton.
Okay. Chair, it's 11 o'clock. Before I ask questions on this paragraph.
Should we not push to finish? If that's, unless,
I'm in your hands, Chair. We could.
or let me ask this question perhaps, how much longer do you think you're going to be?
Probably no longer than an hour.
Let's rather take the break then.
Okay.
Let's adjourn until 11:30.
11:30, thank you, Chair.
My work is easy because I use ClickUp. Here's how I keep track of all my tasks. I start by brain dumping everything I need to get done in a list view. Next, I set a priority and a due date to keep things on track. I create custom statuses to organize my progress exactly how I want it. I like to add the action items field so AI can show me the next steps. I add my teammates as watchers so they're in the loop. ClickUp makes work easy, from personal projects to running a multi-billion-dollar company. Click the link below to create your workspace for free.
When you're on vacation and have everything planned out, but still miss a sitter, here's the new travel game plan. Visa is accepted around the world, so you can go from no ride to fan ride, everywhere you want to be.
Yes, Mr. Sim.
Thank you, Chair. Mr. Shongwe, we were at page 10 of your statement,
Yes, ma'am.
and you just read into the record the paragraph that begins, Imran then offered us.
Yes.
Can you explain when he says to you, I see you don't want General Khan, you want Mkunazi, what was he referring to?
This I'll answer in my in my own thinking. Yes, he was referring to giving me information about General Mkhwanazi that I should be using in the ad hoc, because it was in line with him saying that he understands the line of my questions, that I'm looking for information about General Mkhwanazi, which is, I don't know where he gets that. However, it was a way, I think he was trying to pursue me to then go after General Mkhwanazi with what he was going to give me. So I was very, very skeptical in even probing further of those information that he wants to give me, because at no stage I spoke about General Mkhwanazi. And it wouldn't make sense why out of nowhere you would just punch in General Mkhwanazi's name, whereas there's a lot of corrupt police that he can tell me about.
Okay, so it wasn't that you had given him any indication that you were looking for information?
I don't even know where he gets that.
Okay, so what then happens is another gentleman enters the room,
Yes.
and you explain that he asks this gentleman whether he had information on, as you put it, Mkhwanazi and the helicopter. Did they speak any further about that? What was the issue about the helicopter?
To be honest with you, when the gentleman was walking down the stairs towards me, this is where Yusuf says, "This is my boy. This is the guy who has the information." Then he takes me, grabs me back to the boardroom, and then he speaks about the information of the helicopter. He did mention a place and the helicopter, and I don't know what he was talking about, but this muscular guy didn't speak much. He only agreed that I have, and that he will package it on a USB for me, and then they'll give it to me on Friday. But
So-
this one, because I was tired of listening to him, to be honest. I can't recall exactly the words he was saying, but he was speaking again fast and a lot of things that I couldn't even listen to.
So he said they would put it onto a USB drive and give it to you on Friday when you meet.
In Sentin.
So the idea was when you meet with General Khan, that they would
When I
provide.
meet, yes, the idea of the meeting was going to meet, I was supposed to meet Imran, Yusuf, and Khan. That's how the meeting was going to be on that Friday, had I went to that meeting.
I see. So it wasn't just going to be you and General Khan?
No.
Okay. Can you read the next paragraph?
Okay. I see in the next paragraph I mistyped. I wanted to say it is worth mentioning. So I said it is worth nothing. Can I correct that?
It says it's worth noting.
Oh, okay. No, in my, this
No,
one.
you were right the
Oh,
first
there
time
is
when
the
you
new
wrote.
one. Okay,
Yeah.
this side. Okay. It is worth noting that Yusuf requested my contact details, which I refused to provide. He was persistent, stating that they could change the location reflected on my phone. I declined this offer. It may also be important to note that my phone remained in the car throughout the meeting, as I was apprehensive that it could be hacked. And-
Okay,
yes.
pause there, please, because I'd like you to explain the following. He says they could change the location reflected on your phone. What did you understand by that?
Now, that one he explained thoroughly many times as he was talking in this thing. He kept on saying, you kept on saying, give me your number. I'll call you so that we can arrange the meeting. Trying to eliminate Ms. Londiwe being the contact person. That's how this topic goes. And I kept on saying, no, I don't want anybody to have my number. I will find a way that we meet through Londi. It's fine that way. Then he said, no, if you're scared of us, we won't do anything. Actually, we will help you. We will make your phone unhackable. When one tries to check it, it will reflect in Brazil, it will reflect in Paris, mention other countries while we are here in South Africa. That was the promise. He even mentioned that they would work on the SIM card in the phone. If I give them my number, they would help me with that. So I said, no, my phone is in the car, and it was off at that time, but I was not interested in giving them my number because in a way I was trying to indicate that I'm not comfortable with this thing. So I'll trust them later if they feel what they want me to trust them. Because what was running in the back of my mind is that if Khan is so innocent, why would he want me there in that office? Why would he want to talk to me on the phone in that office where he has a space where he can come to the ad hoc for free? It's different here in the ad hoc. In the ad hoc, we pay for you to come. We accommodate you, we give you food, we give you everything. So yini lemhlulayo ukuthi eza zosibona lapha akhulume nathi asitshele iqiniso ukuthi yena akenzanga lutho. That was my concern in this thing ukuthi this is a plot to get me to take cash or get myself implicated in whatever they want to implicate me, or find a way to control me so that I can keep quiet in probing Khan.
So were there cameras in the room where these offers were being made to you, the checkers and the 10 bar, etc.?
Yes, as I entered the boardroom, when I sat down, on my right-hand side, on the corner, there was a camera there, on top. And on my left-hand side, again, on the corner, there was a camera there on the corner. Including when we entered at the gate, at that door, there's a camera at the corner of the door. A very, very tiny camera. You might not see it if you're not looking. So those are things that I did take note of.
So you felt that they were trying to implicate you?
In many ways, I felt many things, either implicate or find a way to control me. You see, in my political life, there's one thing I'm wary of. I believe that when somebody promises you such an amount of money, and should you be lucky, should I put it like that, should you be lucky and get that money, you'll be happy for a little while, and they will control you. So that's what I don't want in my career politically, because there is now ad hoc and Madlanga because of such things. The politicians have now a bad reputation because of such things. So I'm one of those people who are trying to resuscitate our name and our credibility. I'm sorry if I may not, no offense intended. You see, when you go out, it is a standard norm that when somebody is arrested, they will tell you, no, tell you cold drink, get your cold drink. We speak to the police, give them something about. It is also a standard norm that they will say, no, if you are going to court, don't worry, bring something, we'll speak to the prosecutor, or I know the judge. That's why when Honorable Skosana in the ad hoc, when we spoke that we are not done in the ad hoc, we want to further probe the commissioners in the security cluster, the judges, the prosecutors. I remember one day we started asking about certain judges. I may not mention names here. Outside of the committee, we were then told, the guys, do you know what you are doing? You're talking about judges here. Don't start fight with judges. I've done nothing wrong, so I don't worry about what judges would do to me if I know I've done nothing wrong. So it's those things that are standard in our cities, in our communities, that this is a character, that politicians are like this, police are like this, and we need to change that so that we have a better South Africa.
So you never took the 10 million that was offered to you?
If it was there, let me tell you what I was going to do. I was going to take that 10 million. Go home with the 10 million.
Staying on top of the core concepts of sustainable investing can add value to your clients, your team, and your organization. Confidently communicate with stakeholders, build technical fluency in assessing climate-related risks and opportunities, and learn how sustainability factors affect investment performance. Start today to gain the insights and skills you need wherever you are on your sustainable investing journey. CFA Institute. Set the standard.
In that line, I was like, no, don't worry, I'll take my chocolate in Joburg. So I was going to take it and make sure that I expose it. Because the purpose that I wanted to know is, why would Khan get me there? Why would they want me there if he's innocent?
So on the issue of the chocolates, it's in the next paragraph. I think we should just read it in because it mentions the names. If you could read that paragraph into the record.
It says, when we then said our goodbyes and Imran walked us out to the car. Before I entered the vehicle, Imran said, I don't have anything now, but I will give you your chocolates on Friday when we meet. That's the promise.
Okay. The next paragraph, 2, 3, 11, you've already dealt with. It was a question about who was present in the meeting, but you've dealt with that.
Yes,
Can we go to 2312 on the next page?
yes.
And the question here was, what were the outcomes of this meeting then? You know, what happened after this discussion that took place in the boardroom in Durban? So can you begin by reading 2312 into the record?
The outcome was that we will meet at his apartment in Sandton, meaning General Khan, on Friday, and Imran will bring me my chocolates and the information on General Mkwanasi. That was the promise. I had promised them, if you may refer back, that I would come to the meeting, which was planned to be in Sandton, in the apartment, where I can recall, as Yusuf asked General Khan, where would the meeting be, in the house or, and then he said in the apartment. So there was no outcome for me. This is where it ended.
You didn't meet then on
No, I
that
never,
Friday?
I never.
And you didn't meet at any time subsequent to that Friday?
I made sure that cause that I don't understand, I drop immediately.
So you didn't have any further conversation either with Mr. Kaji or Mr. Imran?
I don't recall having any phone calls from, okay, they didn't have my number. So a person who would have my number would be Ms. Londiwe. I don't honestly recall exactly whether she did ask me or not after that. But I think if she had asked me, as she mentioned in her statement, I think I turned it down. But as I left that door, I closed that chapter in my mind. I just wanted to find my leaders and explain to them what had happened.
Sorry, Ms. Asim. Ms. Jong, please look at page 20. It's paragraph 54 of Ms. Londiwe's
Paragraph?
affidavit. Paragraph 54 on page 20.
Okay, thank you.
Maybe
Yeah, that's.
just take time to read 54 to 58 and then tell us if you have any recollection of the call on the 10th of March, 2026.
Thank you, Commissioner. This is Sis Londiwe's statement, right? On
Yes.
54, it says, on or about 10 March 2026, I met with Mr. Imran and Mr. Yusuf Kaji and telephonically connected them to Mr. Shongwe. The call was placed on speakerphone, sorry. Mr. Shongwe indicated that he was occupied with work commitments. It was apparent to me that he was not interested in pursuing any further meeting. Following that discussion, I had no further involvement in the matter.
Do you have any recollection of that call?
Mhlonishwa, nangibona lento le angikhumbuli nakancane, but I'm trying, my mind is failing me here because on the 10th of March, it was my birthday. And I don't recall which was I at work. But if I read this, ngoba ngiyazazi mina, uma ngibusy, maybe go ad hoc, I would pick up and say, hey, ngibusy, I would call you. So I don't really recall ukuthi ngakhuluma nabo. Maybe I just dropped the call busy, and they were talking to me. So angiyibeki ngaphandle, angiyivumi, kodwa angiyikhumbuli nje nhlobo. But what I know is that bengingasayifuni kula madoda.
But it's possible that her statement, the way she puts it here, is correct.
The outcome of what she says here gives me then to ukuthi it is me here, because ngangasafuni lutho ngempela. So I can say it might have happened, but I don't have a clear recollection of yona lento le.
Thank you.
Yes.
She says that she put the call on speakerphone. You don't recall any voices, recognized voices on.
One thing I know for sure, I've never spoken to those guys ever again. She might have called me and spoke to me, and maybe she said, I'm putting you on speaker. I was not even listening because you see, when I'm at work, it's a space like this, cameras are here. So you'll go on the phone. By the time you are going down, somebody's continuously speaking. So I might have missed that if it happened like that. But I know that I might have said to her, I'm not available, I'm committed, I'm busy at work. So if it happened, I was working on that day, it might have been like that. For that matter, I don't even recall what I did that day on my birthday, but I don't drink. So I don't know what happened that day.
Thank you. So the next paragraph 2.4 is in response to the question where you were requested to provide information about your discussions with President Zuma, Duduzane Zuma, and the leadership of the MK party, and their response to you relating this meeting to them and the details of this call with General Khan. Could you read that into the record?
Are we on 2.4?
2.4.
Yes. The following day, and which I think I must correct, I don't think exactly was it on the 9th?
Can I ask you this? After this meeting on
Yes.
the 8th, did you fly back
No,
to
I
Cape
didn't.
Town or did you remain in Durban?
I remained. Yeah. So I wrote here, the following day, I met with President Zuma and Mr. Duduzane Zuma and recounted to them what had transpired in the meeting. As previously explained, President Zuma expressed surprise that this was the reason, President Zuma expressed, where am I? President Zuma expressed surprise that this was the reason the meeting had been requested, as this had not been disclosed to him upfront. He had only been informed that they wished to praise our work on the ad hoc committee and many individuals do. Yeah.
So you reported this to President Zuma and to Mr. Duduzane Zuma. Did you report it to anybody else?
I went to my principals. President Zuma is my president in the party, and my elder, which I felt to respect him because these guys went to him. And then Duduzane Zuma is the member of the PTT, which is Presidential Task Team. So because of a certain relationship, I decided
Sorry,
to...
just to be clear,
Yes.
Presidential Task Team within the political party.
Within the political party, yes.
Okay.
So I had to tell them the story because I know Duduzane understands these people. So I then decided, no, let me go tell them what happened for my protection in a way that I had a meeting with these two people, but when we got there, the subject of the meeting was then related to me as this. So the president did say, when I told him about these people, he kept on saying, okay, because when I said it, I said I was in a meeting where I was speaking with General Khan. So the president doesn't know General Khan. He met that guy once, even Duduzane confirmed it. No, this guy has only met Ubaba Nakwana once somewhere in passing. So president doesn't know Duduzane. But when we spoke about these two guys, he said, oh, amadoda why? Yeah, baby figured that. That meaning Lamadota, those cigarette guys, oh, they came here about Funukbona. So what was wrong with that? So I then told the president, time for Nibizelo intention. This is when the president tells me, no. Do the right thing. Go do your thing, So I got the blessings of from my seniors.
Okay.
We just, did you report this to the committee,
Now,
the ad hoc committee?
I wouldn't use the word reported. But when I went to the committee on that day, I spoke about it when I was questioning General Masemula.
Can I just pause you there? Because that's where I was going to go next. Can I take you to page 13 in the bundle? In fact, if we could just start at page 12. You'll see from page 12, this is a transcript from the meeting of the ad hoc committee on 17 March 2026. Okay, you'll see the date at the top.
Yes.
Okay. And then page 13, you turn over the page.
Yes.
The very last paragraph on that page, that long paragraph. Okay, that's
I see
where
it, yes.
you see that. You see three lines into it. Sorry, Commissioner Kamala, maybe it would help if the witness just read this, this paragraph and the relevant parts into the record. So I think, Mr. Shongwe, if you could read that paragraph.
Where it starts.
But the relevant part starts at guess what happened.
Wait.
Three
where is
lines
that?
in.
3 lines before? Okay, yes. So should I start there by guess what happened?
Yes.
Okay, I say there, guess what happened? I got a call to come to Devon. Somebody wants to see me. These people went into the office to make an appointment to see me. I flew to Devon, and when I got there, General, when I got there, should I read the time as well?
No, you can skip over that.
Okay, General, who are having there's a very small font here,
I know it is very
Yeah.
small.
who are having a factory of cigarette in Marisburg. You may know them. They took me to a security company office. Actually, they invited me to that office in Morningside, not far from Kubana. When I entered, they spoke to me and said to me, Shongwe, what is wrong? What did we do to you? Should I continue?
Yes.
Okay. My response, what are you talking about? That house has cameras outside and inside, General. As we are speaking, obviously they make promises. We will look after you. Do not do this. Why speak to this guy? There is somebody who wants to speak to you. And I ask, who's that? There is somebody who wants to speak to you. Who's that? No. Look at the phone. They forcing me to take the call. They made a video call. On the video call is a person I do not know. It is the first time seeing that person, but I'm told this is General Khan now. My question is, the guy spoke until his eyes, my question is, the guy spoke until his eyes were red. When he was speaking, as emotionally, as emotionally as I am right now, he says, you are suffocating me. Come see me on Thursday or on Friday in Sentin. Let us talk. What is wrong? Yes, on the record, I do not see there is anything wrong in that, because that is how we politicians get information. But what worries me is what these two families say to me. There is a family of Maja Janseka who died, a makeup artist who was shot in the head. The family says this case, somebody walked on the case, and allegation is that General Khan covered for these murder cases. The second family is the case of somebody. The second family is the family of Dr. Abdullah Munshi, who was killed in an alleged road rage incident. A car bumped into the car behind the doctor. The doctor went out and he was shot. But on the street, it was said that the father of the son who went to the hospital and died had the hands on that doctor. It is the one claiming that he killed that doctor for revenge. And again, General Khan's name comes out there, and it is said that to me that he is the one who who is the protector. Now, General, it is alleged that we here in Parliament, the ad hoc, we will not see that person sitting where you are sitting, because he claims he is protected. He claims all of us are taking something from whoever he says it is true. I will not reveal my sources. I had left that thing, but when I was in that house, that prompted me. If General Khan, if he is as true as he says, yeah, he is. Why is he not applying to come here and clarify his name? But instead, he opts to call me and invite me into an office. Why now?
Yeah, okay, that's good. I think you can stop there. So this is where you relate in the ad hoc committee the events that took place on the 8th of March. Just before I ask the next question, I just want to first ask you, you say in this paragraph When you got there, you met these people who have a factory of cigarettes in Pietermaritzburg. Who are you talking about? Is that,
Imran and Asaf Kaji.
they have a cigarette factory,
It's what they told me.
and that cigarette factory is in Pietermaritzburg?
Yes, how they tell me that is that in one of his yappy too much, he says, your former SG, mentioning, referring to Floyd Chibambo, well, he came to the factory and we always helped him. We gave him something. Don't worry. He was referencing how we helped people. So if I agree to what they want to offer, it's one of those things that he talks too much. I recall as we move on. So it says that, yeah, Floyd Chibambo came there, your former SG, we gave them T-shirts, don't worry, man. That was the topic. So in that sentence, that is where he says, in our factory in Pietermaritzburg.
Okay. And do you know the name of the factory?
No, I don't. I've never been.
All right. So you talk about it then in the ad hoc committee. Were there any further inquiries that were made on this incident by either by the ad hoc committee or by anybody else that you're aware of?
Ma'am, to my understanding, I think, let me say, I'm new in Parliament. And some of the things I don't know how they operate. But the level of assistance we're supposed to get, or I think we should be getting in the ad hoc committee.
To be a pet parent is to be human. Sometimes we feel guilty, even when it's for their own good. It's not always a walk in the park. That's why more and more pet parents rely on Hills, with scientifically proven formulas to give more love than humanly possible. Because you're only human, there's Hills. Science does more.
A night before, we were questioning Kat Madlanga, if I may transverse the space. A night before, I questioned Kat Madlanga, which was on Wednesday. I drove out to Tembisa to see one of my pastors, Umabus Melan. When his daughter was opening the gate, I got hijacked. And my car was taken into the car at the back and we drove off with those two people, with the daughter as well. Fast forward, the case is opened. And the case is opened as kidnapping and hijacking. Now, I asked the police, why do you specify it like that? Because it sounds in a way. Then they specified this is like this. I didn't report it. I went to work. I went to the police station. After I was done with the police station, I went straight to work because I wanted to question Kat Madlanga. I was so interested in questioning Kat Madlanga. And why was I so interested? Because I just can't find that article, but I think it was reported by Media 24 in some years. It was somewhere in December, where the Ariton drugs, it said they were not transported to the lab, but they went to Pretoria West College. I've never seen that anywhere. I've only seen it once in that article, and I can't find it. That was I was looking for yesterday. Before I lose my chain of thought. Cool. So that day when I went to question Kat Madlanga, I wanted to ask him, Muguti, is this the reason he got residence for his business in the Pretoria West, so that these drugs, if they were brought to Pretoria West, nobody will think the drugs of Kat Madlanga are in the police college. So that information, for you to probe that information and get it further somewhere, you'll have to transverse very dangerous ways, to go to dangerous people and put your life in danger. So I didn't probe that thing further, but that was why I went to work that day. So I got to work. I didn't even tell my colleagues that an incident had happened. I asked a certain question to Bob Madlanga. Unfortunately, my 10 minutes lapsed before I got the important information about the Metropolitan Life Company. I didn't get to the drugs issue. As I left there, I wrote a note to my chairperson that I'm leaving. There was a certain incident I'll explain later. And I left because I was very emotional. Now, in the media, it was said, Shongwe asked, addressed to Kat Madlanga as Hortman. When I addressed everybody, I either call them Mr. Gazelle or clan names and all that. Everybody, I respect people. But I missed that opportunity of checking whether these drugs really were in college. And if they were in college, that means the syndicate, which I call the Indian cabal, which I'm still checking the IDEC people, would have been able to work with Ket Matlala to get the drugs stored in the police, and they can be utilized from that police vicinity. Nobody would think if there are drugs in the police college. Nobody would think to check there. So I say this because in the ad hoc, the support that we're supposed to be getting was somehow very limited. We missed a lot of things that we could have probed. So that's why I say, even that matter, I was never asked. I remember seeing it on TV 2 days. I didn't mention it that much, but I saw it on 2 days later. I saw it on TV. I was like, oh, now I have to rush and tell my parents quickly something happened, because while my mother was still alive and my father, I couldn't tell them that this thing has happened, because they are always worried. People are coming at auction and say, hey, umntana kuzongena engozini. Umntana kuzongena engozini. Stuff like that. So I didn't tell anybody, but I saw it on the news on Friday. Then I informed my family. But in the ad hoc, we have never spoken about this.
So that whole story that you just gave us now about Kat Matlala and the drugs and
Yes.
so on is a way of you saying that there were no further inquiries
I couldn't.
from the ad hoc committee side.
Yes, including this one as well. Yes.
Okay. On that issue, but also on this issue.
On this one, yes.
You're drawing an analogy. All right.
Yes.
But on the 17th of March, when you explained this in the ad hoc committee, you were discussing, the person you were talking to at that point was General Masemola. He was the person who was the witness before the ad hoc
Yes.
committee. And he's the National Commissioner of
Commissioner at
Police.
that time, yes.
Did he follow up and make any inquiries about this call that was made to you with this offer from General Khan?
It's only the Madlanga Commission that has spoken to me about this matter, apart from my political party. And in my thinking, I think me mentioning it there in the ad hoc, for me, it was enough. I didn't even see a need to open a case or do anything further, because that space, I think it's a protected space. We are governed by certain laws there. We are protected by certain laws. If the committee felt the need to do anything, they would have jumped on it, including protecting us.
Okay. Then your statement concludes with, you refers to the timeline tracker from your vehicle, which we
Yes.
have. And then you conclude that they never reached out to you, meaning Mr.
Never.
Kaji and Mr. Imran, and then you've clarified there is a different version that's provided in
Yes.
Mr. Londiwe's statement.
Yes,
That
yes.
you've explained that. And that brings us to the end of your statement. Is there anything else you wish to add?
You would wish you never asked that. So, do you have 6 hours?
Only that's relevant to the questions that were put to you in this notice, sir.
No, apart from saying I appreciate the level of the Madlanga Commission work and the fact that you guys have taken the bar. In fact, I'll admit at first when it started, the Madlanga Commission, to me, I was seeing as Zondo point 2, Zondo Commission point 2. It was not going where we wanted to. But when we, the MKP members in the ad hoc, changed the notch, people, the South African focused so much in the ad hoc until something changed here. And I myself was changed and taken into appreciation that at least this time around, there won't be a 1 billion spent on nothing. There won't be a 1 billion spent on fighting our fight as politicians. So I appreciate you guys for being fair and honest to the fight. And the South Africans are seeing that exactly as I see it. So in that note, I also appreciate that you have given me this opportunity to speak about this. I hope we work together in fighting this crime in South Africa. We wouldn't have much today had our laws been followed the way they should be. Now we have an issue where we have to accept and feel bad that we are taking foreigners away in their country, but mainly because laws were not followed. So I appreciate your work. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Shongwe. Chair, I don't have any further questions for the witness.
Can I put this on record before you speak, Commissioner Woti? I'm the first person to get the commissioners not to ask the questions. I'm seeing Dr.
Thank you very much, Mr. Shongwe. You are excused.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Ms. Asim?
Chair, I believe there may be one in-camera application. Could I ask that we stand down? I can't give you a time.
Come back when it's indicated to us. Thank you. Let's adjourn.
Vicky, let's test Vanish's new and improved formula against the toughest hard to remove stains.
You guys were so amazing. This is very dirty.
We'll clean them, but first, more stains.
What? Spit some stains? Thank you.
All the stains.
More stains, please.
Washing powder alone won't remove all these stains.
Think Vanish can handle the challenge?
But my mom always soaks it first, ma'am.
No need to soak or scrub. Vanish's new improved formula removes the toughest stains, even in a 30-minute quick machine cycle.
For the perfect wash, try the Vanish challenge.
Sure. Trust Vanish, forget stains.
Here's how we go from idea to launch without missing a deadline. We start by capturing our kickoff meetings with AI Note Taker, which turns everything we talked about into a clear campaign brief. Tasks are then created and assigned across every channel. Landing pages, ads, emails, it's all in one place. Write with AI helps us generate first drafts so we can produce a full campaign's worth of content in days, not weeks. Reviews and approvals happen right inside the task with all feedback, context, and edits in one thread. And with shared calendars and automations, everything gets published on time without constant check-ins. ClickUp makes marketing easy, so we can launch faster and focus on what actually drives results. Click the link below to create your free workspace.
My
Yes, Mr. Chaskelson, good afternoon.
Afternoon, Chair, afternoon, Commissioners. Chair and Commissioners, there is an application for the evidence of witness L to be led in camera. The application has been put before the Commission. There is no opposition on record. The media have been notified of the application. And unless there are specific questions which the Commissioners would want me to address, I would ask that the Chair gives a ruling that the matter, that the evidence of witness L be given in camera.
Just. No.
Is it still morning? Afternoon, Mr. Chaskelson. We've obviously read the application and the Chair will deal with how the Commission intends to proceed with it. But it was served on the media. So if you go to page 15 of the letter, evidence leaders going forward need to address this issue because it's obviously a concern to the media parties. And they wanted it placed on record. That's why it's put in the letter.
Indeed, Commissioner. Our concern with this specific application is that it was very difficult to provide, well, it wasn't possible to provide a less redacted copy without identifying the witness in the process. And certainly the redactions that were made were
necessary.
We believe were necessary. It may be that we need to, obviously we cannot post an unredacted application on, or circulate it to the world. But it may be that we can have a situation going forward where we make available to legal representatives of the media if not a wholly unredacted copy, then a much more substantially unredacted copy under conditions of confidentiality. We'd have to think through a process that would secure the protection of the witness.
Or maybe as you serve it on them, consider explaining why reductions were made and for what purpose, so that at least they get a big picture. Because I'm concerned that all they are getting is a redacted application and they are then being asked to state whether they oppose or they consent, and that's where the complication might be. So it's something to think about for the evidence leaders going forward. I don't think we will find a solution now, but I thought I should place it on record because they have placed it on record in the form of a letter.
Thank you, Commissioner. It is certainly something that we are applying our minds to.
Mr. Chaskelson, I'm thinking there are a few prayers in the notice of application itself. What I'm proposing is just to make a ruling that the hearing of the testimony will be in camera, but I will ask you to prepare a full draft ruling. Why I'm saying that, I'm looking, for example, at paragraph 3. Yes. So let me just make that one important ruling, and then for the rest, I'm thinking it may then be served on the media and also posted on our website, the full ruling.
Thank you, Chair. We will, and maybe just to clarify what 3 is, because we can't clarify what 3 is.
Yeah.
3 is.
I think I do have an idea, but then just, but
No,
please go ahead.
But for the public.
Yes.
3 is to specify a list of the people who may be present in the proceedings, and we just need to organize among ourselves inside the evidence leader team who is going to be present so that they can be named.
Yes. Thank you. The hearing of the testimony of witness L will be in camera. A fuller ruling will be given in due course, and it will be posted in the Commission's website and also handed over to or delivered to the media.
Thank you, Chair.
And we adjourn, I assume, until
I'm afraid we do adjourn at this
9:30 tomorrow. Let's adjourn.
Staying on top of the core concepts of sustainable investing can add value to your clients, your team, and your organization. Start today to gain the insights and skills you need wherever you are on your sustainable investing journey. CFA Institute. Set the standard.
It's official. GoDaddy's been voted best hosting for small businesses, thanks to their easy website tools, scalable plans, and expert customer support. Take the stress out of web hosting with GoDaddy.
Looking for a great car insurance deal? Look no further. For quality cover and affordable premiums, get a quote and see how little you could pay.
The market is currently buzzing around these things called alternatives. Alternative investments is something that is typically a broad bucket of different investment types. It's not well understood in the market and probably not spoken about in detail. So today we just want to give you a brief overview on what we see as alternatives and what we are doing to help clients invest in these alternative assets and why. So alternative investments, firstly, there are two different ways of looking at it. The first is something that is non-traditional in terms of an asset class. So that's typically things like commodities or hedge funds. Then there are traditional assets like equities and bonds that's in an alternative format. So what we mean by that is it's an illiquid format, and that's typically things like private equity and private credit. So at Standard Private Wealth, we spend a lot of time understanding firstly, the alternative assets like hedge funds. So we spend a lot of time with our multi-manager, and we're very privileged to have a big multi-manager in the group. And what this multi-manager does, it scours the market for best of breed managers in alternative spaces. So across all these assets that I've mentioned, hedge, private equity, private credit, private real estate, and various other asset classes. So we have the advantage of looking into this, and they typically build that for institutional clients. So these asset classes were typically not available to retail clients, mainly reserved for institutional clients. So what we're doing at Sana Private Wealth, because we service high net worth individuals, is how do we take these asset classes and build them into retail portfolios and give clients access to them? So we work very closely with our multi-manager to look at these asset classes and see how we can build structures to give our clients access to these various asset classes. For more information on this product, speak to your Sana Private Wealth portfolio manager.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Mr. Madlanga, I wish to, before I ask my questions, because no one, even a hardened criminal, must have police coming into their house and making their kids to sleep on the floor. No one must ever do that to our kids and to our wives. If they've got an issue with you, they must take you on. Because the procedure would have been, once they arrive, they should have isolated the kids and put them with a female police officer in one room who's reassuring the kids that everything is fine, we are going to be fine, while police are interrogating you or doing their business. If this happened, it deserved to be condemned, Chair, because it was brought to our attention that kids were made to sleep on the floor. As Black people, we have inherited trauma, and no one must pass that trauma to our children. And no one must take advantage of our wives. Whatever we do on the streets is between us and the streets and has got nothing to do with our children. And police must understand law and point a child with a firearm. It is uncalled for, even if they are looking for the most dangerous criminal. That must never be done to children. I thought I must make that statement before I proceed. Mr. Madlanga, just tell me your place of birth. I was born in Seshego, but in Pietersburg Hospital, Provincial Hospital. Where were you born?
I was born in Mamelodi.
Yeah, which hospital?
It's no longer there. They used to call it a nursing home, but it's no longer there.
Do you have a birth certificate from there?
Yes, I do have.
And then the primary school you went to?
It is called Uwani Primary School.
Who was a principal there?
Principal, it was Serudu.
And then were you baptized?
No, I was never baptized.
And then high school? You said it yesterday.
Lesabile High School.
Who was a principal there?
Ngwe, Mr. Ngwe.
After high school, you didn't proceed to tertiary education?
No, I didn't.
And then you never worked in any formal employment or?
No, I never had any formal employment.
So from high school, that's when you engaged in the informal trading?
Yes, I will say before my mother, so I grew up in the street for a very long time. So I just realized after when I grew up that my mother passed away, but she was an albino. And I heard later that she was raped because there was this myth that if you can rape an albino, then you can get cured for whatever. And then that thing traumatized her a lot that she disappeared. And when I found her, she was terminally ill. And then I think it was 2002 when I found her through her friend. It was very late, and then she passed on. But all along, I was a street kid.
I'm sorry to hear that. Now, Dlamenis have got some roots in Swaziland.
Yes.
And you said to us your grandmother is from, is a Dlamini.
Yes.
Did they have a place in Swaziland, or was she originally from there?
No, KZN.
So you don't have any relative or any association, none whatsoever, with some people in Swaziland?
No, I don't have.
So when you travel to Swaziland now, what were you traveling for? What purpose?
It was I was invited to the king's birthday.
Oh, so you know the king?
And the queen mother.
Yes. But
yes, I was invited by the queen mother.
Oh, so you know the queen mother?
Yeah, but it was the birthday of the king. But I went there
through the queen mother?
Yes.
You were a guest of a queen mother?
Yes.
So this ID that has got your picture and the ID number that is similar to yours and all of that, what is the story there?
I don't have an ID for Eswatini. So that thing was fabricated so that they can deny me bail.
Yes, but in the judgment of the appeal or something, because he says police did not produce the original ID.
Yes.
If I'm not wrong.
Yes, on the judgment, they said that I've traveled to Eswatini using that fraudulent ID, but which is, we know, is impossible. You cannot pass the border with an ID. That thing is not a traveling document. So they said that. And another thing is, when I came back, unfortunately, they didn't stamp my passport. So they said I've got access to get in and out of the country undetected, because my wife's passport, my passport, and my protector's passport were not stamped. So it was the overlook of the BMA or Home Affairs, I think.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a brand new edition of the Swift Conversations. I'm Adeshokwe Olajide, and here at the Swift Conversations, I'm joined by a special guest, one of the best when it comes to band, production, music. You know, this is somebody that's part of a team that has represented African music for over a decade now at different levels. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Nana Popes of the Composers.
Thank you for having me.
Listen, my brother, the simplest way for me to introduce you is 1/4 of the legendary Composers Band. But I believe that you are a little bit more. Please introduce yourself, brother. How would you introduce yourself to the people?
How would I? Well, I'm just a lover of music, a fan of amazing production, a fan of great music, and yeah, man, I try my best to be the best guy I can be, utilizing the skills and the gifting that God's given me to elevate and contribute to the musical journey and the musical landscape. So yeah, like you mentioned, I'm 1/4 of the Composers. Myself, along with the Composers, we've been doing what we've been doing since 2013 officially, but really we started in 2008. And it's interesting because so many people have just been introduced to us at different times in the journey. So to some people we're a brand new entity, and to some people they're like we're a legacy entity. So it's very interesting, but nonetheless it's all a blessing, man. So thank you.
How would you describe the Composers Band?
Oh, the Composers Band. All right, so we've got different sides to what we do.
Yes,
we are an act ourselves, and you know, this question is actually very interesting because we spent the earlier years trying to even show people what we were, because we couldn't explain it. We are an act in terms of we do our own shows.
Yes,
we put on our own shows. Our last show was in Wembley Arena, so we've gone all the way from 200 capacity all the way up to Wembley Arena in the UK, let alone shows around the world. We are producers. We've produced on some of your favorite tracks. You might not even know that we're involved in some of the stuff. We're consultants. We consult artists and entities on how to put and produce their shows. And with all of these different things, then aside from that, we're businessmen. So we're like an onion. There's so many different layers to the brand composers, but all I can say is we're really, as long as we've been around, we're actually just getting started. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
The interesting thing is, when I think I came to one of your first shows, maybe it was at one of the 500 capacities or at the Dominion Center, one of the first shows almost a decade ago.
Wow.
I came there, I watched the show. I remember leaving that show. I went to my friend's house, shout out to K-Swiss. When I walked into his house, Smade was at the computer. And Smade is obviously one of the biggest promoters here, promoting Afrobeats music and all your David O. Wizkids. And I walked over to him and I said, hey, Smade, I found the future of Afrobeats music. He sat at the computer and he said, what? I said, I'm just coming from the Composers Concert. And these guys they've done something that I've never seen before. They are the band and the audience is the artist. He said, I said, they were playing the music and every member in the audience was singing lyrics to the song. And that's how we spent the whole night. There we go. 2 hours of us just being the lead artists. Whether it was rap, whether it was Will Smith, or whether it was R&B, it was Mary J. Blige, we changed position to our favorite musicians. And that went from gospel, TV commercials, rap, reggae dancehall, Afro beats, high life. It was incredible. And Smith was like, really? Wow. And I said, sign these guys up right now. He didn't. Fast forward to about 10 years later, you're headlining at the 10,000 capacity OV Arena. You're selling out at Royal Albert Hall. You're touring the world, Europe. You're about to go on your American tour as an act. Until I'd seen you live, I'd never seen anything like that. Had you seen anything like that?
Do you know what? We had seen, obviously, so before even becoming a band, obviously, we're musicians. Yes. So as musicians, you study different musicians and people that you enjoy their playing and stuff like that. And the whole concept of the Composers wasn't something that we set out to intentionally do. It was just because myself and our manager, Brian, we decided that went straight out of university, we wanted to open up an entertainment company. We wasn't even sure exactly what we'll do, but we were going to do the biggest boat party in the UK. We did it, 600 capacity. And at that time, we were trying to find who's going to entertain us on this boat.
Wow.
Right? So it was between, we want the energy of a DJ, but we want the class and sophistication of a band. But we couldn't find anybody. Right? So at this time, then we was like, we were all sitting in my parents' house in the living room, eating some Chinese, and we looked around like, you play, why don't we just do this ourselves? Right? And that became the formulation of the Composers. And so what we started seeing is that our shows were an experience. And that is ultimately what we have shipped around the world. And obviously being of Ghanaian heritage, African heritage, Afrobeat music is the thing that is the dearest to our hearts. And taking our musicality and the music that we love, packaging it into an experience, it's opened doors for us to tour around the world, collaborate with our favorite artists, bring some of the most historical moments in Afrobeat history to life. Do you know what I mean? And we realized that we were speaking a very different language, because musicality is something that either you're classically taught it, you're taught through church. Like all of us are self-taught.
Wow.
This is something that I think a lot of people don't know. We all taught ourselves how to play instruments. Right? Nobody taught us officially. So bringing those skills and expertise, we've done so many rehearsals before anybody even ever considered to book us. But even back to even you mentioning Smade, there's some major people who were instrumental in our journey in the early days, who believed in us when nobody even knew what we were. Smade is definitely a huge deal in our journey. I also want to shout out Dennis Akwaba as well. Huge deal in our journey. Even till today, he's like our godfather, because they believed in the dream that we weren't even too sure and clear about, but gave us the opportunity to perform on their stages for their different events. And one thing always led to the other. We built these relationships, one successful show after the other, and the quality of live performances and live shows started to get higher and higher. And we had the pleasure and privilege of being at the forefront of that. So that's the composers and what we bring to the stage and bring to shows.
I know you've played for a lot of artists. I want you to name maybe 5 major names that a lot of people, and then tell us the number of Afrobeats artists, hip hop, or dancehall artists that you've played for.
Wow.
Over the last 10 years. Who are some? Just give us like 5 major names.
Do you know what? This question is always so hard because
played for everybody.
We've shared the stage.
Yeah.
We've had the privilege of sharing the stage with some amazing people. So Ashakir, Davido, Wizkid. It'll probably even be easier for you to even say,
Absolutely.
And then I'll even say it.
Sark.
Sarkodie. Oh my gosh, I can never forget Sarkodie. Ghana's finest. Let's say,
and then you've done
even the Americans,
hip hop. Exactly.
We've done the hip hop. We've worked along with Chris Brown at this point. We shared the stage with Ghana recently.
That's crazy.
Ed Sheeran, we shared the stage with here.
That's crazy. That shows the blend of the type of music that you can play. You can go from Afrobeats to hip hop to Afro swing to pop to reggae to dancehall.
Even like Nile Rodgers. What business do we have with Nile Rodgers? Like, imagine that. So, anyway,
it's been crazy.
Yeah.
That's a crazy array of lists. Now, I wanted to talk to you about Afrobeats. Yes, we talk about the musicians. We talk about how we've had major hit records and stuff, but I think the composers and their independent shows have also been one of the platforms that has promoted Afrobeats music at a level.
Why did you resign from Medicare?
It's because of the allegations that were surrounding me at that time. They said they didn't know by then that she's my sister. They said, hey, I gave a contract to a slave queen. And then also there was these allegations about me, which I did not think that it will be a good image for the company. So I just thought by then, let me just resign and put someone until I clear my name.